Hey everybody, how's everybody doing? Wednesday, what is it? Uh, December 29th? Wednesday, December 29th. I tell you, once you get past Christmas, between Christmas and New Year's, it's kind of like this limbo, this time of limbo. It just feels really weird. Um, but yeah, here we are. Got a few of us there. I see Dwight. I see Emily and Sublime and Roger. Good to see you guys. Hello to all. Hope everybody had a good Christmas and hope everybody is planning to have a very safe and good New Year. What's up, Wonder Joe? I'm going to be showing my face here in just a minute. I'm finalizing, finishing up, getting myself ready, taking a drink of water before we get started. Yeah, I know you can't see me, Dwight. I'm getting ready to pull that down. Let me pull this down here. There you are. Hey, everybody. Um, yeah, so we are going to be doing Kiss Rock and Roll Over versus Motley Crue, Dr. Feelgood. This is the last Kiss versus Motley that we're going to do because I think even though the what they call Motley '94, the John Corabi album was really good. Um, I don't know how it's going to go up against. I don't know how to do against Love Gun, and honestly, I would like to put Love Gun up again. I would like to put Love Gun up against a Motley album, but I just don't think that. Um, I don't think that putting it up against the Motley Crue album is going to be the way to go. Hold on, let me get rid of the bot here. All right. I don't know why I've just started getting so many bots in here. They'll be back. So this is going to be basically it for the Kiss uh, versus Motley track versus track. Um, I'm going to things that I pick. I'm going to be basically going off of a lot of you guys' lists and what you pick because I've got the. Oh crap! I'm probably going to have to walk out of here, or I can text my wife and know my wife's in the bathtub, so I can't text her. I'm probably going to have to walk out of here in just a minute when we get to the end to grab my my suggestions and beer caps things so I can we can draw what's going to be the next matchup. But finishing up what we have, the next Wednesday is going to be Motley Crue Shout at the Devil versus Motley Crue Dr. Feelgood. And that will be the last Motley Crue versus Motley Crue. I'm not going to take it on to any albums after that. I know Motley made albums after that, but I'm not going to take it on to any albums after that. And the voting for that is already closed. It closed on December 24th. So if you're watching this live or watching this on the replay, the voting for that has closed. The voting for the one of the first ones that got pulled out of the hat is the track versus track Black Sabbath, Paranoid versus Black Sabbath, Heaven and Hell, Ozzy versus Dio, Black Sabbath. Is still open for voting. I believe it's open until this weekend, if I'm not mistaken. So you can still get in on that if you want to. And then we'll discuss what the next track versus track or whatever. It may be a track versus track. It might not be a track versus track. It might be something else, but we'll discuss what that's going to be once at the end of the video, once I pull it out of the hat, out of the tin. So, so I wanted to talk about. Let me block another user. Wanted to talk a little bit about Christmas. Hope you guys enjoyed the In Our Heads season 1, episode 2, the December episode. Episode 3, was that episode 3? Yeah, it was episode 3. God, I can't keep up. Was it episode 2? I can't remember. Episode 2 or 3. It was the December episode. And then we'll be back in January. We'll be back in next month where me and Matthew and AJ are cooking up what is going to be we were in that episode where we're talking about topics that's going to be in that episode, and we've got some pretty cool ones. We're still kind of fleshing things out, but hopefully you will join us on the In Our Heads episode, that you will watch it for January. And I'm trying to talk to some people about having some guests, because we have room for one more head on the screen. So I would like to get some guests. So I've reached out to some of you, and I'm going to try to come back around and find out if you can do it when we can, and if it works for you, if the schedule works for you, if the content works for you. So if you're interested in doing it, just throw it up in the chat here. You can throw it up in the chat here, or you can send me an email. You can go to my website and find out that email. Or you can just message me on any of my social media, on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. You can message me there if you're interested in doing it. Because I might not, it might go by in the chat real fast. But there's some of the people I've reached back out to, you know who you are, and talked about being in an episode. And so far, everybody has been saying yes, they want to be in an episode. But sometimes it's, scheduling, and some people, they want to do it, but they're waiting on the right content. And I understand that you want to be in on something that you're passionate about. So I can understand that. But I do hope everybody had a good Christmas. I wanted to show off a couple of my Christmas gifts. This is a Christmas gift that was given to me by one of my kids. And I've read this book. I love this book. And I've read this book there's the ghost moving stuff again. I've read this book on Kindle, or on whatever it is, Kindle or whatever it is that you can read books on. But I've never had a physical copy of it. And so it's cool to have a physical copy of it. I think I'm going to go back through it and read it. That's something that I don't do enough of. I don't do enough reading. So that's something I want to go through and read. Did you see it, Darklight? Did you see the ghost? I have a ghost in my house, guys. I think I have several. I know whether you believe in that or not, I don't care. But we've seen them. We've heard them. They move stuff around. I've had somebody tell me that it's moved stuff behind me while I've been working on stuff. This was not placed precariously. This was actually placed right here, where I don't think it could have slipped down. It may have could have slipped down. I'm not going to give the ghost credit when it don't need it, but yeah. Yeah, we do have a ghost. I think we actually have about 2 of them. But anyway, I think we have a little girl and an old lady. But that's not the subject of this video. I need to make a video about that sometime. I just don't want to shift them. I don't want to make a video like going through my house and doing stuff, because one, I don't think my family would appreciate me going through and documenting my house. And 2, a lot of times that kind of stuff, the more attention you give it, the more it likes to act up. So I try to, not pay attention. But sometimes they try to get your attention. This is something that a friend of mine gave me. And this is a print by Michelle Johnson Fairchild. And I thought this was really cool. It's looks like it's from the Destroyer era, or whatever, because you see what Paul's got around his neck, and Peter. You can't really see Ace's or Jean's costumes, and I know I got a terrible glare on it. I'm trying not to catch that. That's probably good right there, not catching too much of the glare. But yeah, this is a limited print. It's print 149 of 700, so it's 700. But it's not anything that's worth any money or anything like that. I just think it's cool that my friend thought of me enough to get that for me, and got that for Christmas for me. I'm gonna lay it down just so nothing happens to it again. And I got some stuff for my drum set. Of course, my drum sets, for those of you who haven't seen it, I'll show you. I've not released my video of it yet, of me putting it together. Trying to do this by hand, but my drum set is right here. And there's my drum throne, and you're looking at it as if you were standing in front of it. So that's a cymbal. And then there's a floor tom there, a couple floor toms in the middle, and then there's a snare, and then there's a cymbal here that I've got my hand on. There's a hi-hat over here. I've got another little cymbal down here, and down here on the floor here is the bass drum pedal, the pad for the bass drum. So I've not got any. I've got video shot of doing it, of putting it together, but I've not gotten anything really. I've not got really anything recorded yet, drum cover wise or anything like that. But I am going to be working on doing that in the coming new year. That's some of the videos that's going to be coming out in the coming new year is that. So want to go ahead and get into the track versus track. I know that's what a lot of you come here for. Some of you just come to hang out, but a lot of people that watch it on the replay, they're like, man, you take too long to get to your subject matter. And I have to tell them, I'm dragging my feet on purpose for the people that's trying to be there live and experience it live and be in the conversation. I've dragged my feet on purpose for those people. So, so this is, we'll go ahead and get started with it. It's Kiss Rock and Roll Over versus Motley Crue Dr. Feelgood. And when it comes to this matchup, these are two real iconic albums for both of these bands. Some people would say that this was when Kiss was at their best, and this was when Motley Crue was at their best. And some people would argue that this was when neither band was at their best, or when one band was at their best and the other band wasn't at their best. But either or, I thought that this was going to be a pretty good matchup. Now, how good of a matchup it ends up being, what we'll see. But I thought this was going to be a slugger. It definitely was for me on my picks. I'll let you know when we get to the end how many I picked off of each album. But I didn't think this was going to be a landslide as far as my picks goes. Now, what did the panel pick? And we'll have to find out. What did you guys pick? We'll have to find out. Sometimes you guys really surprise me with some of the things that the way you pick things. And I was talking to my friend Scotty Sky. He was, after the last Kiss thing that we did against another band. I think it was Motley Crue. He was like, "Damn Kiss fans!" He's a Kiss fan too, but he's like, "Damn Kiss fans! They pick just because it's Kiss." And I'm like, not necessarily, but this is a very largely Kiss channel, and I have a lot of Kiss fans. But we all like other bands too. And at the end of the day, I think it's a fair fight putting bands up against. I mean, would I put Motley Crue up against, Creedence Clearwater Revival? Probably not, because that's not really what my channel's about. So putting Motley Crue up against Kiss is not a far fetch for me. So I don't think it's a ridiculous. I don't think it's a ridiculous matchup. So we had 48 people on the panel this time, including myself, and we're going to talk about you guys. Before I talk about that, I want to talk about my Patreons. I'm holding at 6 Patreons, and I love each and every one of you that are Patreon. I love you if you're not a Patreon, but if you're a fan of the channel. But my Patreons, they got an early video. We're getting ready to do a hangout tomorrow night. Thursday night, tomorrow night, I am going to put my Kiss card, my Don Russ, however you say it, Series 1 Kiss cards. I'm going to lay them out on here behind me and put the puzzle together. And I'm going to talk about the cards, show the cards off, and put the puzzle together on the back. And we're just going to hang out and we're just going to talk about Kiss and maybe share some memories. They'll be in there physically in there with me. And this may be one that may eventually make it to the YouTube channel, but for now it's going to be just Patreons hanging out with me. And I can have up to 9 Patreons hanging out with me in a single chat. And I've not had more than 3 or 4 hang out with me at once yet, but you can get in on that. It's patreon.com/inmyhead. And my current Patreons that I have for this month, for the month of December, is, and getting ready to start a new month, is at the supporter level. I have Pyretta, and it's going to scroll across the bottom here. I got to wait for it to scroll across because I can't remember. It's Pyretta, John Steinheimer, James Dean, Jesse Ray, Rhett Smetzer, and Wendy Tipton. And I believe I haven't forgotten anybody. So, but yeah, you can join. You can join up on that just by going to patreon.com/in my head and checking that out. So let's talk about the panel members. Let's talk about you guys. 48 of us, starting with me, and then we have Wonder Joe, which was here earlier. I saw Wonder Joe. Angelo Scanzelli, Scotty Sky, Dominica, Brett Parker, Bill Sharp, John B. Good, Amond 1972, Roger Bennett, which I saw in here, Flaming Youth, David King, Sharon Cox, Sharon Cox, Logan Shevert, Timothy Murdoch, Jesse Ray, Wayne Kerr, Jersey Joe, Joel Pegg, Bob O'Brien, George Savastino, Paulo Vincent, Richard Buffett, G-Man, Teresa Stearns, Deuceman 65, Dylan Tucker, Aladio, Trey Robinson, Pyretta, Raven FM, Les Wadley, Future Squash 767, Darklight, which is in here, Wayne Kerr, John Steinheimer from Voice of Doom, Sublime 130, which is in here, Joe Nail, Thomas Hubner, Wendy Tipton, Hard Rock Reverie, Tony F. Corpse from Postmortem Superstar, John Stevens, John, Eddie Thompson, Darren Helliwell, Dwight Manning, and and there was one person didn't leave their name, so I don't know who you are, and I thought that I had it turned off. I thought I had it turned off that you couldn't not leave your name, but they skipped it. Somehow they skipped that question. So yeah, Wonder Joe. That deserves highlighting right there. Wonder Joe, first time on the panel. Welcome, sir. Welcome. I hope that you are enjoying the results. We're eventually going to get to after I get done being long-winded. And hey, Marty, good to see you. I like to acknowledge if you guys say hey, I like to see you. Cecil, I missed a few of you. Let's see. There's Cecil. Good to see you, man. Hope you had a good Christmas. Kiss Posters. Man, I tell you what, you got to check out Kiss Posters Instagram. Kiss Posters is on Instagram just as that, and you got to check out their Instagram channel. They have such cool stuff that they post. And let's see, Darklight, Dwight Manning, Roger Bennett, Sublime, Emily, Miss M. So awesome to see all you guys. Let's see. Oh yeah, I told you whenever I do what I started doing is putting the names on a wheel and picking a honorary featured panel member, and I read their answers as I read my answers. This time around, it is Deuceman 65. So Deuceman 65 is my honorary featured panel member. So we will go ahead and get into it, and then we'll talk about some suggestions, some people's suggestions that they made to go into the bucket, and then I'll have to go grab the bucket, and you can watch and see if anything moves while I go grab the bucket, and we'll pull what the next thing we're going to vote on is going to be. So starting with track number 1, we have I Want You going up against Dr. Feelgood, and I Want You and Dr. Feelgood, Taryn Tinseltown and Dr. Feelgood, is two really amazing songs, two very amazing lead-off songs, and just a great way to start an album. I remember the first time I heard Taryn Tinseltown and Dr. Feelgood, I was anticipating Dr. Feelgood coming out, and it had been quite a bit in the making, and Motley Crue had been very self-destructive to that point, and they supposedly all got clean and then made Dr. Feelgood. And whether they were clean or not, they put out a great album. Bob Rock really, in my opinion, saved them. I love the production of this album. I love the way the drums sound on this album. The guitars sound, I think, the best they sounded since the early albums before they sounded raw. Vince sounds good. I know it probably took a lot of heavy editing to get Vince sounding that good, but Vince sounded good. They had a lot of special guests that really kind of uh, brought a lot to the album, and I think it's a great effort. And Kiss Rock and Roll Over is one of those albums that people think it's the quintessential Kiss album. Once you get beyond the first three albums and Alive, Rock and Roll Over is a lot of people's favorite album when it comes to Destroyer, Rock and Roll Over, and Love Gun. Now, personally, it's not my favorite, even though there's a lot of songs I like on it. I lean a little towards Love Gun a little bit more. But I love both of these albums, so don't get me wrong. There's no hate towards Rock and Roll Over, whatever. And at least Rock and Roll Over don't have a crappy cover song on it that kills the end of the album. Kiss usually peters an album out, but they sure as hell do not peter out Rock and Roll Over. They end it with Making Love, which is one of my favorite Kiss songs. So we'll get to that. But between these two songs, I want you, and feel free to throw in your predictions. Throw in which one you picked if you want to, or if you wasn't on the panel, which one you would pick. So I want you, Dr. Feelgood. I want you, Dr. Feelgood. My pick is Dr. Feelgood. I love I Want You, but Dr. Feelgood is one of my favorite Motley songs. I just love the way it sounds and the way the drums are played on it. And it, to me, is it's not my favorite song off of Dr. Feelgood, believe it or not. One of my favorite songs off Dr. Feelgood is kind of a B-side song. And I'll talk about that in a little bit. But my pick is Dr. Feelgood. Deuce Man picked I Want You. So we're going in two different directions between my pick and his pick. And I see something. Let's see. Dwight Manning says Doctor. Kiss Poster said Doctor. Marty Martin said interesting about the ghosts. I'd like to hear more sometime. Yeah, maybe I'll do just a live chat one night like I used to do, where I just randomly do a live chat and talk about whatever. And I may tack it on to the end of this one a little bit more about the history and what I do know about the ghosts. But we'll do that at the end if you're sticking around, Marty. And if you don't, because I know you're ahead of us, if you don't get to stick around, you can catch it on the replay. So I went with Dr. Feelgood. Deuce Man went with I Want You. I see a lot of you. Going with Dr. Feelgood on this. Cecil says Blaze. Marty, Steve Blaze from Van Lilly next does ghost hunting. Oh, that's cool. All right. So what did the panel pick? Well, the loser scored 16 points. The loser is Dr. Feelgood. The winner, I Want You, with 32 points. So right out of the gate. And that surprised me, honestly. I knew that people liked I Want You, but it surprised me that Dr. Feelgood got beat by I Want You. That honestly surprised me. Especially considering I'm seeing so many Dr. Feelgood votes here in the chat. So that puts the Kiss album up one. The second track, Take Me versus Slice of Your Pie. Take Me is a great song. Slice of Your Pie is my personal favorite song off of Dr. Feelgood. I love Slice of Your Pie. It's a great song, and I love the drums in it. You're going to hear me say that about every Motley Crue song on this album, almost all of them. There's one bad song on Motley Crue's Dr. Feelgood that I cannot stand. I skip it every single time, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But Take Me versus Slice of Your Pie, two great songs in my opinion. So my pick is Slice of Your Pie. Deuce Man's pick, Take Me. We split again. I wonder if we're going to pick the same at all. But so he picked Take Me. I picked Slice of Your Pie. The loser, this is pretty much a landslide. And this will be repeated. Slice of Your Pie with 7 points is the loser. And Take Me with 41 points. Now that's a little bit of Kiss bias, I think, going on. That's a little bit of Kiss bias, I think. Even though Take Me is a good song, so that takes the Kiss album up by 2 points. Track 3, Calling Dr. Love versus Rattlesnake Shake. Now, Rattlesnake Shake it's a song that I don't not like off of Dr. Feelgood, but to me it's not as good as some of the other songs. When they get into it and they got the horns going at the end, that's a little bit too much Bob Rock, a little too much Bob. So I think the horns kill it a little bit for me, but I like the verse and the riff and of course the drums and everything sounds good in Rattlesnake Shake. The chorus is kind of lame. Do the rattlesnake shake, 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 shake. That's a little lame, a little bit of a weak song. But Calling Dr. Love is a classic. It's one of those songs that makes me think of Gene. And so between the two of them, I picked Calling Dr. Love. Deuce Man picks Calling Dr. Love. Let's see who else. Kiss posters picked Calling Dr. Love. And I didn't get who picked who on the earlier. Let's see. Calling Dr. Love picked Take Me earlier. And Cecil did I Want You. So I'll try to catch those guys. But yeah, so got one person at least that's doing Calling Dr. Love. Anything with a Peter Cowbell. There's Vanderhoff. Good to see you. Love Dr. Feelgood when it came out, but now it's overplayed. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you do hear about the only two songs you hear off of. Well, there's three songs you hear off Dr. Feelgood. Dr. Feelgood, Without You, and Kickstart My Heart. And you hear those songs all the time. So, but I picked Calling Dr. Love. Deuce Man picked Calling Dr. Love. And Cecil said Ace's solo on Dr. Love was really cool. And I agree that's a weird solo. It's a weird solo. And very cool for Ace to do, to show that he could do some stuff like that. The loser on this only had 7 points, and that is Rattlesnake Shake. So Calling Dr. Love wins with 41 points. So that brings the Kiss album 3 points to Dr. Feelgood has yet to win a track. So the fourth track is Ladies Room, another Gene song, versus Kickstart My Heart. Now, I love Ladies Room, and I think I probably like Ladies Room just as much as I like Calling Dr. Love. Those are two of my favorite live tracks off of Kiss Alive 2. I love the way Gene delivers them live on Kiss Alive 2. But Kickstart My Heart it's a badass song. Overplayed or not, it's a badass song. And all the way through from the motorcycle at the very beginning, that whatever street bike or hot rod or whatever it is that Mick is trying to emulate there. Creepy. Whatever Mick's trying to emulate there is it's really cool. So I picked Kickstart My Heart for me. Let's see. Ladies Room. And the video if the video gets fuzzy, Cecil, I'm sorry. It could be my internet connection. Ladies Room for Dwight Manning. And I apologize. Like I said, if it is getting fuzzy, I do apologize. I'm seeing right now that I've got an unstable connection, so it probably is getting fuzzy, and I apologize for that. That's kind of out of my control. This time of the evening, I might have like 3 or 4 people pulling on my internet in my house, and when you do live, you kind of 100% dependent on that internet. So hopefully it'll come back and I won't be fuzzy. You'll have to look at my beautiful face. Kickstart My Heart was what I picked. Deuce Man picked Kickstart My Heart. And the loser with 16 points, Ladies Room. Kickstart My Heart wins 32. Gives Motley Crue Dr. Feelgood its first win. So that brings us to track 5. Baby Driver versus Without You. Baby Driver versus Without You. Um, I love both these songs. I think Baby Driver is a kick-ass Peter Criss song, and I think Without You is a great love song. I think it's one of my wife's and my favorite songs off of almost any Motley Crue album. Um, so Without You is great. If you listen to the Without You demo and then you listen to the Without You that is on the Motley Crue Dr. Feelgood album, you see what a producer can do for you. Especially, it also Kickstart My Heart and Dr. Feelgood. You listen to these demos of these songs, and then you listen to what Bob Rock did transforming those demos. It's amazing. It really is. But I picked Without You. Deuce Man picked Baby Driver. So the loser with 14 points, the loser of this track, Without You. The winner, Baby Driver, with 34 points. So that takes Kiss up 4-1. Track number 6, Flipping the Vinyl. Love 'Em and Leave 'Em versus Same Old Situation. And Love 'Em and Leave 'Em and Same Old Situation is two of those songs. They're just middle of the road songs for me. I like Love 'Em and Leave 'Em probably more than Same Old Situation. I like the first part of Same Old Situation more than I do towards the end. It just kind of gets repetitive at the end for me. So I picked Love 'Em and Leave 'Em. Deuce Man picked Same Old Situation as far for his pick. My pick, or what the panel picked, the loser, this is only 8 points difference on this. It was kind of close. I think it might have been close to the closest battle. There's one more that was a little closer. But the loser had 20 points. And the loser was Same Old Situation. Love 'Em and Leave 'Em has 28 points and is the winner. So that brings the total for Kiss 5-1. Then we have track number 7. Track number 7 is, let's see here. Yeah, I can't get better internet. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to see if it can do better, but anyway, I can't. Track number 7 is Mr. Speed against Sticky Sweet. And Sticky Sweet is one of my favorite songs. It's probably my second or third favorite song off of Dr. Feelgood. Mr. Speed is my favorite song off of the Rock and Roll Over album and one of my favorite Kiss songs. So for me, it was Mr. Speed. For Deuce Man, it was Mr. Speed. And this is a landslide on this one. It's not the biggest win, though. The biggest win is yet to come. But this is a landslide. Sticky Sweet only had 5 votes. Mr. Speed has 43. So, yep, and I see a lot of that. A lot of people saying Mr. Speed's my favorite. Mr. Speed's my favorite. And hey, S. Rose, good to see you. And sorry you're having to put up with crappy internet visual tonight on this one. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. But so Mr. Speed has 43. Sticky Sweet only had 5, so that takes the Kiss album up 6-1. Track number 8, She Goes Down up against See You in Your Dreams. I know a lot of people, they really love See You in Your Dreams, and She Goes Down's kind of a B-side. I like See You in Your Dreams more than She Goes Down, so I chose See You in Your Dreams. And Deuce Man chose She Goes Down. The loser with 18 points is She Goes Down. The winner, 30 points, See You in Your Dreams. That's 7-1. And track number 9, Hard Luck Woman versus Don't Go Away Mad. And don't go away mad, just go away. I thought this was going to be tight, and it is. I like Don't Go Away Mad. I'm not a big fan of Hard Luck Woman. I don't like Paul writing a song for Rod Stewart and then turning around and giving it to Peter. I wasn't really happy about that. I mean, we didn't find out till later, but I wasn't a big fan of Hard Luck Woman to begin with, all the way back in the day. And so I picked Don't Go Away Mad. And Deuce Man picked Don't Go Away Mad. So this is pretty close. It's only a 6 points, 6-point difference between these two. Don't Go Away Mad had 21 points. Hard Luck Woman is the winner, believe it or not. Hard Luck Woman, there's some of that Kiss bias again. Hard Luck Woman wins with 27 points to 21 points for Don't Go Away Mad. That takes it 8-1. Takes us to track number 10, the last track, Making Love, the powerful, explosive Making Love off of Rock and Roll Over versus Time for Change off of Dr. Feelgood. And I think Time for Change is poop. I think that song is poop. And to me, it destroys a perfectly great album. I don't know who came up with the idea for Time for Change. I know what was going on during Time for Change worldwide, and it was a crazy time in the world. But it's a crazy time in the world now, and it's always going to be a crazy time in the world. There's always going to be some crazy bullshit going on. And I just don't think an album like Dr. Feelgood is the time to start trying to figure out how to solve world problems, especially if you're Motley freaking Crue. I'd be like, and if Kiss did the same thing, I'd be like, stay in your lanes, bro. Stay in your lanes. It's just like, and I don't even say bro that much. But yeah, Time for Change is poo. And if you like Time for Change, then sorry. Making Love, though, is my favorite track on this album. I think I said Mr. Speed was. Making Love may be tied for it because I love that song. Making Love is my pick. Making Love is Deuce Man's pick. I'm seeing a lot of you people picking that as well. Dwight Manning, S. Rose is picking that as well. And this is a landslide. This is hands down the biggest win. The loser only had 2 points. Time for Change. Making Love had 46 points. So that brings the total to 9 for Rock and Roll Over to 1 for Dr. Feelgood. Dr. Feelgood got its butt kicked. The only song that won was Kickstart My Heart over Ladies Room. And so the panel picked 9-1. I picked 5 and 5. Because I picked 5 tracks off of Kiss. I picked Calling Dr. Love, Love 'Em and Leave 'Em, Mr. Speed, See You in Your Dreams, and Making Love. And off of Dr. Feelgood, I picked Dr. Feelgood, Slice of Your Pie, Kickstart My Heart, Don't Go Away Mad, and that's fun. Dr. Feelgood, Slice of Your Pie, Kickstart My Heart, Without You, and Don't Go Away Mad. So I picked 5 and 5. Yes, Wonder Joe, I do too. I love that song, Making Love. I love it on Alive too. The very first drum cover I recorded, I didn't do a video drum cover. I only did an audio drum cover. So I'll probably redo it and do a video drum cover where you see me playing the drums. But I did the live version of Making Love. And because I was just in here messing around and that came on and I was like, I'm going to play this and I'm going to record it because my little thing, my control module has the ability to record. So I'm like, I'm going to do that. I'm going to record. And so I did. All right. So I'm going to talk about what you guys picked what you guys suggested. Whenever you do the Survey Monkey, you have the option to suggest. I may be taking that away for a little while because I have that big bucket full of stuff and I got to go get it in a minute. But I'm going to go ahead and talk about the suggestions that you guys have left this last time, and then they'll go in the bucket for the next time. John B. Good had a suggestion. He suggested Ozzy Osbourne, Bark at the Moon versus Van Halen, 1984. He said it's 8 tracks if you take off 1984. That's a good suggestion. Roger Bennett suggested Holy Diver versus Last in Line from Dio. That's a great suggestion. Roger also suggested Ozzy Ultimate Sin versus Judas Priest Turbo. That's a great suggestion. Timothy Murdoch suggested Skid Row Debut versus Motley Crue Dr. Feelgood. That'd be kind of interesting to see. Paulo Vincent said Typo Negative versus anybody. And I've got to do some Typo Negative track versus track just to get some of you guys to listen to Typo Negative because I love them. I love them. I'd love to do a lot more Typo Negative stuff. I just don't have a whole lot of Typo Negative viewers. And a lot of times those videos get really low views. G-Man suggested we do a poll for the most offensive rock/metal song. I'll put it in the bucket, but that might be a little hard to do. Future Squash 767 suggested Iron Maiden Killers combining the Eyes of March and Wrathchild versus Kiss Creatures to make it equal tracks. Sublime 130 suggested Def Leppard High and Dry versus Def Leppard Pyromania. Thomas Hubner suggested Kiss Debut versus AC/DC Debut. And Teresa Stearns, who I think is a new panel member, said no suggestion. I just like rock and roll. And so I like rock and roll too, Teresa. And I hope you're enjoying. I hope you enjoy being a panel member, being on the panel, and voting, and getting in on watching the videos. And let's see. S Rose said Van Halen Debut versus anything. My video quality's back. Yeah, I see it. It looks like it's come back. I can see it looks like my thing went away. Let me run in the other room. I got to run in my dining room, which is right over here, and get my bucket for the to do the poll for the next video. I'll be right back. Whoops. Come on, y'all watching. Y'all watch out for the ghost. Hopefully nothing starts moving. Okay. All right. So here's the request and beer caps. Of course, there's no beer caps in it. I used to keep beer caps in this. That's why I call it request and beer caps. And if you look, there's a lot of suggestions in there. It is deep, but there's a lot of every suggestion that's been made is in here. So I'm going to sort of reach down in here. We're going to grab one. I'll let you see that I'm reaching down. I'm grabbing one out. Let's see what we got. Trying to just get one. All right, here we go. All right, what's one of the next things we're going to vote on? Roger Bennett. Is Roger Bennett still in the room? I know he was here earlier. I would love to see Journey Infinity 1978 versus Journey Evolution 1979. I don't think we've ever done any Journey. Not at all. I don't think we've ever done any Journey. I will be very curious to see how a Journey video does on the channel. And it's weird because my Bee Gees review that I did gets a lot of views for the Bee Gees. And I have people say, do more Bee Gees. And I did that at a Patreon. Joan requested that I do a Bee Gees song because Patreon members, that's something else they can do. They can request, they can ask questions, and they can request things. They can request videos. So we're going to be doing Infinity 1978 versus Journey Evolution, both 10 tracks. Majestic can be dropped from Evolution. It's just an intro. So I will work on getting the survey up for this. This is going to be very interesting. I'm kind of curious about how this is going to how this is going to be, how this is going to do. So that'll be our next one. There, I know you can't see it, but that'll be our next one. I don't really have anything else to say other than upcoming videos. I'm going to be working on, like I said, we're going to be shooting the. I know that we have the shooting for the In Our Heads for January. We're going to be shooting that. Next week is going to be. Next Wednesday is going to be the track versus track results for Motley Crue, Shout at the Devil versus Motley Crue, Dr. Feelgood. That'll be next Wednesday, live at 8 o'clock. And the voting on that is closed. As I said earlier, it closed on December 24th, so that's closed. The first pick that came out of the suggestions and beer caps was track versus track for Paranoid, Black Sabbath Paranoid versus Black Sabbath Heaven and Hell. So that is still available to be voted on. And I'm going to be working on a bunch of other videos in the coming year. There's also going to be a year wrap up coming in January, talking about all the videos I put out that year, what my most popular videos was, what my top 10 popular videos was, what my most watched content was, and different things like that. How many people watched videos this year, how many watch hours I had, and just a bunch of useless information that I like to do just to document and just put it out there for those of you who may want to see it. So that'll be coming up sometime in the month of January, probably the first or second week. And but that is all I've got. Let's see. Black and Blue versus Kill. Both were produced by Gene. How about Led Zeppelin versus Track? Led Zeppelin track versus track. Yeah, I mean, I can do those. I just have to. A lot of times, I can't think of stuff myself because I'll stay in a certain vein. That's why I like for you guys to make suggestions, and all you have to do is just send. I don't like to get it this way because I can't keep up with it. That's why I started people sending me suggestions in whenever we do votes. So if you go on a track versus track and on a post for the survey and go to SurveyMonkey link, when you click on the link, there's a place where you can put it. But anyway, so that's all I've got, guys and gals. And Sublime, take care. Everybody else, take care. I'll see you in the next one. It'll be Wednesday night, next Wednesday, a week from today, 8 o'clock for Motley Crue, Shout at the Devil versus Motley Crue, Dr. Feelgood. That should be interesting to see. All right, so that's all I've got this time, guys. And I hope to see you all real soon. Y'all have a very safe, it'll be after New Year's. So I'll see you next year. Ha, ha, ha. I'll see you next year. And y'all have a happy and safe New Year's. I'll see you soon.